Well, hey, good afternoon, everybody. Scott Swinford, Hancock Mortgage Partners, American Hero Home Loans, and it's Red Friday again. I know I say that every week, but it's just crazy how fast the Fridays are flying past. But I'm back here again, wearing red. It's Red Friday, and for those of you who haven't tuned in before, Red Friday, red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. So on Fridays, and boy, I think it's been a couple of years since we've been doing this every Friday, so well over 100 shows. Um, if you're watching, you're going, he's not really gotten much better over 100 shows, but well, we're trying. But if you haven't seen this before, we every Friday we do just a shout out to our service members who are deployed, as well as their parents, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, husbands, wives, those that are left at home that are hoping that their loved ones come back soon and safe. And we certainly do also. We hope that they come back safe soon and um, that that they are able to catch up with all the memories that they've lost while they've been gone. I know we're coming off of Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that, and um, they're doing that for us, where they're missing holidays and birthdays and baseball games and basketball games and the other things with their families, and we so much appreciate them. Also, a big shout out to our veterans as well as our National Guard and Reserves folks. They deserve a big thank you also, especially now for our National Guard folks who are we're starting to see more of them being mobilized for COVID response, things like that. So thank you very, very much. And again, thank you to their families for allowing them to do that. We do appreciate it. Um, we always give a big shout out to our first responders. I think without our police, fire, EMS, those folks that are out there 24 hours a day protecting and serving us, helping us out when we get into trouble, when we need things. So just a big thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Um, Today's gonna be a pretty quick one, and I know I say that all the time, and then it's not. But um, just got back from a closing just a little bit ago. Had an opportunity to help a first-time home buyer who is a National Guard member, who's actually still active, purchase a home. Had a chance to meet his fiance also. Um, what a couple great people. They really are very, very deserving. And I'm glad that I was able to play a small part into helping them purchase their new home. I think that they're going to do very well with it, and I'm so glad to see what they're able to purchase. Um, and it was one of those things where I've been working with him for a little while. It took him some time to find the home that he wanted. Finally, his agent, Lori, was able to find one he liked. We had a little bit of an issue with what they call tidewater. If you're not familiar with that, it is where the appraiser says, hey, I'm just not seeing the value to this property. Help us out here. Give us some good comps that we can show that purchase price. So myself and the agents worked. In fact, Lori put in quite a bit of time over the weekend, as well as Bart and his associate Karen, um, to get everything together so that we could get it submitted. And we turned it in, and we came up with the purchase price as the appraised value. I appreciate the appraiser looking at that, going over it. Um, not all of the not all of the lenders and agents actually do anything when Tidewater is called. A lot of them will just not attempt to provide the comps and things, but I think it's always important that we do that, and that certainly helps out our buyers as well as our sellers also. So um, again, a little bit of work from myself and from the agent a couple weeks ago, putting all these things together, but absolutely worth it. And that's what we do. That's how we try to help out our veterans. And we, again, because we appreciate them, and especially someone who's still active duty in the National Guard. So, and I do appreciate all of their help. And so, thank you very, very much to everyone involved with that. Just a couple things here, again, really quick. We talk each week about Team Red, White, and Blue, Team RWB Northwest Indiana. Paula and the crew there have done just a phenomenal job. Um, they have grown so much in the last couple years. It's incredible. Started out very small, three or four of them, and now I believe they said they've got 100, maybe, if not more. Paula, if you're watching this, jump in and tell me how many folks you guys have up here in Northwest Indiana. But it has grown considerably, And I really appreciate what they do. I think it's a great opportunity for some of our veterans and even non-veterans to get out and just kind of socialize and get some exercise and things. So I will, as always, put their Facebook link up in the show notes here, the comments, and you can check it out. Um, Regroup Foundation is, and we talk about that every week. Ranger Dan asked me to bring that up. By the way, just a cheap plug here, and it's not like I want him to send me a bag of free coffee or anything, is that Ranger Dan owns Coffin Coffee Company along with his lovely wife Diane, and it is the only coffee that we have here in our house. I don't normally drink any of the things that we see out on any of the specialty coffee stores. I have a Keurig here. That's the only coffee that's allowed here because it's the best I've ever had. I was joking around and tell folks I was joking around with Dan. I said, hey, normally I put a little bit of coffee in my cream and sugar, but now it's actually mostly coffee when I'm drinking it. So because it really is that good. But so Dan asked me to bring that up about Regroup Foundation, something that he believes in. And the foundation itself is there to help out with veteran homelessness as well as veteran suicide. There's about 22 veterans a day that are taking their lives. I don't know if you can read this very well, but it says 22 a day, and we're there to try to cut that down. So, the holidays passed, we have lost a bunch of folks that we know here locally in the area, and it keeps coming up. And I know Dan had posted the other day that he's lost a lot of folks, and I think unfortunately that's as we get older and as we know a lot of people, things like this happen. We've lost a couple folks within the last week or so here locally, including a lieutenant in Lake County Sheriff's Department. I did not know him, but the folks that did know him have had nothing but very positive things to say about him, and I'm sure he will be greatly missed by all. And so those are kind of some of the things that we want to do is we want to honor the people that are in the area that are our veterans and active duty and National Guard and reserves and first responders, and just say thank you again for what they do. We really do appreciate them, and we want to do whatever we can to help them out. So that's about it for today. If there's anything I can do for you, if you're a veteran, first responder, have questions about home loans, whatever it happens to be, I'm here to help out in any way I can. If I don't know the answers, I probably know somebody who does that can help out. And that's what we're doing. That was one of the ideas behind the Red Friday videos. Besides just to say thank you to all of our service members, but to be able to get out in public a little bit and just kind of talk about places like Team Red, White, and Blue and Regroup Foundation and some of the other organizations that are out there that are helping our veterans and that are donating to our veterans and are doing good things within the community, because we appreciate that and we thank them very much. So, folks, with that, have a great weekend. Stay warm. It's still pretty cold out there, but I guess it's the middle of January, so what would you expect? And again, if there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know. We'll do whatever we can to assist. So with that, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week for another version of Red Friday. Bye now.